So we're talking about electric cars that no one wants to drive. What is it, like 400 volts sold? And Clint Eastwood said that America's at halftime because of Obama, because of TARP, Chrysler. I mean, I don't know who doesn't love Clint Eastwood's work. I do. I've always been a fan of Clint Eastwood. He won't come on the show. He only goes on the Leprechaun. He's a good friend of the Leprechaun, but he won't come on this show. That's his business. He's not obligated to go on any particular show. But when he's used as a tool of the Obama administration, as we all fear he was, I have an obligation to say something about it. So there's a little article about it now that was written by the good people at WorldNet Daily on michaelsavage.com. And the headline is, Michael Savage says Clint Eastwood was wrong. I'm actually proud of the fact that I said that. Michael Savage is a big fan of Eastwood. But when the legendary actor appeared in a Super Bowl ad that held up the government's bailout of Chrysler as a pillar on which to build the country's economic recovery, the talk radio giant called a foul. Eastwood's much-discussed commercial, It's Halftime America, strikes a somber tone, noting people are out of work, but pointing to the aftermath of the $12.5 billion bailout of the auto giant has sign of hope. And then Eastwood says certain things. But Savage told his listeners that while most Americans believe that Chrysler repaid the loan, if you read the fine print, Chrysler ran off with $1.3 billion. It was astonishing for a man who allegedly is somewhat conservative to be talking about bailing out the auto industry, Savage said of Eastwood. Savage traced the $12.5 billion that the Treasury Department gave Chrysler in 2009. Last year, the Italian automaker Fiat bought the government's 6% stake in Chrysler, which closed the books on the Fed's involvement. In the end, U.S. taxpayers were out $1.3 billion. So, I mean, I do my homework. I mean, you could have an opinion, but if you want to do your homework, you come up with the true opinion. An opinion based on facts. Let's put it to you that way. So that's the story. The Savage Nation airs live across America on over 300 stations, including the one you are listening to. So if you'd like to call in on these or any of the other topics, the phone number is 1-800-449-8255. We have an open line, especially for Clint Eastwood. If Clint Eastwood would like to... Nobody calls this show except my great listeners. Isn't it interesting how you can survive without guests unless you're wall banger and you can't talk without them?
Savage.